Today, well,
the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good Thursday morning, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberatore.
and I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And a little tricky travel this morning. Some black ice and that fog coming up the hill was pretty dense.
My goodness, yeah, driving up, I mean, the visibility, I could barely see maybe 5 feet in front of me. Yeah, so, heading outside this morning, those are the two main things you're looking at regarding travel impacts. And for both of those, dense fog and some black ice, they are primarily focused in higher elevations. I would say more so the fog than some of that black ice potential. But you can see here, we are hovering right around the freezing point. So because of that temperature right here, not everyone is going to be experiencing black ice this morning. But just before you head out, just check your sidewalks, your parking lots, your driveways, just to make sure they're not slick before you head out, or better, worse yet, put your kids out on the surfaces again this morning. So again, we have that dense fog in those higher elevations and some patchy drizzle moving its way in from the west as this weak system's moving through the area. We can actually see the impacts here. Again, you got some of that on the arterial there. Arterial is clear, by the way, but you can kind of see the side spots there where the icy conditions were forming. And some fog up in Barneveld up there, too. So the next 12 hours, temperatures really hover into the mid to upper 30s. And, of course, coming up in a few minutes, we're going to be diving into that January thaw. We'll have a look at how warm we get and the rainfall we'll be expecting tomorrow straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away each morning. Well, this morning, state fire investigators are...
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Happy Thursday morning, everybody. Time now 5:11, and as you head outside today, well, it depends on location. Icy spots, patchy, dense fog, but for some of you, just a relatively quiet morning out there. We'll take a look at your forecast here in a minute. First off, temperature, very difficult to forecast in terms of ice because we're sitting right at the freezing point in Rome, 32 degrees with calm winds, and overall that dew point at 32. This is a saturated atmosphere, which is why as you head up into the hills, there's some pretty dense fog, and that was the case with the rainfall, the snowfall, and the snow melt we saw yesterday. That's the cause of that very moist atmosphere. Conditions outside right now, a few icy spots. Main roads are plowed, treated, should have no issues driving on them. Just those outlying hills will have some icy spots. And of course, that dense fog, just to plan accordingly and budget some extra time as you head outside today. Radar indicating a few flurries and sprinkles this morning. When it comes to impacts, this morning's pretty much the highest impact for the next, I would say, 12 to 18 hours here. We're going to dry up this afternoon. Heavy rain arrives tomorrow morning with some ponding possible and a passing shower tomorrow evening. The big story, though, is that January thaw. We'll have a look at how much snow will be melting and the impacts it could have and how you can prevent or at least help certain flooding scenarios. Gary?
Eric, thanks. We are not even halfway through our winter.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
It's a bit foggy here up on Smith Hill with a live view from our tower cam moments ago, and pretty much if you had any higher elevations, that'll be the story today due to that saturated atmosphere. In fact, we look at the radar right now, and although we're seeing some very weak signatures to the west, we can see that slowly approaching. Those signatures are enough that we could be seeing some patchy drizzle throughout the next couple of hours. It might not look like much on the radar, but of course that's the case with these types of events here. So today, our high temperatures climb into the mid-30s. Aside from some patchy light drizzle this morning, it will be drying up this afternoon and remaining dry through much of this evening and tonight. But there's a different story when it comes to later on, especially tomorrow and Saturday. Now, keep in mind, the snow depth map we see here, the current snow depth estimated, it just uses a generic model output for this, for the general idea of where all the snow is. What I want to show you guys is the impact of the temperatures and rainfall tomorrow and through Saturday as to how much this will impact snowmelt. You can see here a huge drop-off in accumulations until, of course, there's potentially some more on the way Saturday night, which I'll get to here in a second. Either way, a few things I do want to emphasize as we start to see that snowmelt returning again. If you're able to, remove snow and ice from gutters, clear as much snow off your roof as possible, as well as away from your foundation. But the main thing I want to focus on right here is if you're able to clear storm drains. Clear the snow and ice from storm drains. It's a very small thing you can do in front of your house, but it helps tremendously in avoiding ponding and flooding on roadways due to, of course, that blocked drainage. So, again, a couple of things to mention, but of course the main thing is helping out in terms of removing that melting snow from the roads. So today, after a cooler start, it's really not warming up that much. Mid-30s, maybe some peaks of sunshine right before sunset, but chances not really that high. Then tomorrow morning, it starts out quiet. Your morning commute looking mostly dry, but then in the mid to late morning, widespread rain works its way in. A dry period in the afternoon, and another round of brief rain showers in the evening. Then Saturday starts out pretty quiet. Cloudy skies. Overall, not too bad of a day. But then by Saturday night, here we are again with another ice scenario here. And this is the first time we're getting an output here of this potential icy situation for Saturday night. So we'll keep a close eye on the potential for that Saturday. But again, as a reminder, we're not out of the woods with winter weather just yet. Yes, we have a warm-up tomorrow with widespread rain, but the trend points down to some cooler temperatures, right around freezing by Sunday and Monday with some colder temperatures. And on top of that, the long range points to some cooler weather for the later half of January. So we have some brief warm-ups here and there, but we're still in the thick of winter, Gary.
Yeah, and beware of that black ice this morning.
Yes.
Eric, thanks. The time right now is 5 morning once again, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. If you're getting ready to hit the road, beware of some black ice and some fog. Eric, that fog coming up Smith Hill this morning was quite dense.
Yeah, that's right, Gary. The two main issues this morning, some of that fog and that black ice. Let's take a look at the current conditions outside right now. So the temperature right now sitting at 32 degrees in Rome. The dew point is also at 32 degrees, which basically means the air is saturated. So with that in mind, as you go into the higher elevations, the moisture has nowhere to go, so it condenses and forms dense fog. That's what we're seeing early today. And of course, on top of that, with our temperatures being right around that freezing point, of course, we're going to be seeing some black ice in some colder spots here. So untreated surfaces, parking lots, sidewalks and driveways, as well as some less traveled side roads. Just budget some extra time today if you're driving any of those scenarios in those higher elevations due to that risk. So again, a look at the radar right now. It is mainly quiet. However, to our west, we're going to see the arrival of maybe a few pockets of patchy drizzle as a weak system moves its way over us. But that's really about it. We're going to dry out this afternoon. But for the time being, you can see here, roadways, main roads generally clear. Fog you can see here on the camera in Barneveld. And as we head throughout the day today, our high temperatures climb into the mid-30s. And then following that, we're going to see the arrival of widespread rain tomorrow and a decent thaw. But how long will that thaw last? The answer on that coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Officials in Minnesota are reacting.
News Channel 2 is brought to you by Holland Farms Bakery in Delhi. This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us here on News Channel 2 at Sunrise, we have a couple things to mention so far this morning. For one, we've got some black ice we're tracking across the area, mainly in those higher elevations due to those temperatures hovering, in fact, going or at least dipping slightly below freezing, as well as, of course, some pretty dense fog in the hilltop. So plan accordingly and budget some extra time as needed. We are tracking a snow, a slow thaw today. No snow today, though. But either way, this thaw will be a bit more prominent as we head into tomorrow. But that will be also added by some widespread rain as we move ahead into Friday. So again, here's what we're tracking. We'll, of course, have more details on that coming up shortly. So when it comes to our photo of the day today, this one is a great shot sent in to us in Westmoreland of a bald eagle sent in by John. Look at this shot right here. I wonder if he mentioned it was right off the thruway. I'm not sure, maybe he pulled over and he was able to get this amazing shot zoomed right in there. So amazing photo sent in by John. And if you have a photo like this you'd like to share with us, you can send it right there, the link on the top of your screen, wktv.com/weather/pics. This photo and every photo every morning brought to you by GPO Federal Credit Union. Gary?
Eric, gorgeous shot right there.
Yeah, amazing one.
Yeah, February right around the corner and will be legendary on
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody, on this Thursday. Today we are tracking at least some light drizzle to our west. We take a look at the radar here. It's not a lot, but due to how saturated the atmosphere is right now, there doesn't have to be a whole lot of rain in the atmosphere to produce light drizzle. So I would say over the next couple of hours here, if I press play, you kind of see the general movement of this here. We could see a few sprinkles passing through the area. Again, negligible in terms of any measurable rain or even flurries, but enough to potentially coat your windshield in some parts of the area early today. Besides that, it's a foggy morning, it's a foggy afternoon. Those temperatures struggling to climb means that air really isn't going to dry up. It's going to be a pretty damp, cloudy, dreary day today. But for the most part, the impacts are relatively low for the afternoon once we climb a few more degrees above freezing and allowing some of those icy spots to thaw. And while we're talking about thawing, how about this in terms of a January thaw? When it comes to snow depth, now keep in mind these are not accurate measurements here. This is a general idea of snowfall in parts of the area. Obviously, Tug Hill has seen a whole lot more than 13 inches near Camden. But either way, watch what happens starting today through Friday and Saturday. Those snow packs are going to decrease significantly with widespread rain and temperatures in the 40s tomorrow. But it might rebound a little bit in the Adirondacks with potential snowfall late Saturday night. We'll show you why here in a second. But in the meantime, with the snowmelt taking place over the next 24 hours, I want to provide a few tips on what you can do in this time frame. Clean as much snow off your roof as you possibly can. Same thing with the ice from the gutters too, while we still have the opportunity, as well as from the foundation as well. You want to clear that, but the main thing is right here. Clear snow from storm drains. This will be very important because some storm drains are covered in snow or ice, and that'll mean flooding concerns. Not high, but ponding and just overall lack of drainage for that snowmelt over the next few hours or the next few days if those drains aren't cleared out. Something minor you can do if there's a drain in front of your house, just spend a few extra minutes and clean it out. It helps tremendously. So today it's cloudy, it's damp. We might even see some peaks of sunshine in the evening, but very brief right before sunset. Then it's mainly quiet tomorrow morning. Widespread rain moves in Friday late morning, early afternoon. Drying up, another brief round heading into the evening, and then it's dry for much of Saturday. But Saturday night, we're going to start to see some rain, freezing rain move in again, and some snow in those higher elevations north and west of Utica. So we're not done with some freezing rain potential just yet. So your 7-day forecast, widespread rain tomorrow. Late Saturday, we're going to see the arrival of a wintry mix and then lingering rain showers and wintry mix on Sunday. Cooling down a little bit Monday. Overall, though, Gary, we have a lot of snowmelt to take place in the next few days. Yeah, but of course, this morning, just watch out for some icy spots.
Yeah, our active winter continues.
Yes, no end in sight.
No dull days for you. Eric, thanks. New dietary guide.
The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And a bit of a tricky travel morning with that fog out there.
Yeah, that's right. That fog and, of course, some of that black ice
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, so watch out for some of that this morning. In fact, a reminder, we have a black ice alert in effect for right now. It's nothing officially done by Weather Service. We just like to put these out for a reminder that there are some icy spots, mainly on untreated surfaces in higher elevations. So just as a heads up, you want to make sure that you are your parking lots, sidewalks, and driveways are ice-free. If not, put out some rock salt or anything to make sure it's not so slippery for the kids at the bus stop this morning. Temperatures hovering right around 32 for the Mohawk Valley, which is that prime condition where it depends on elevation as to whether it's thawed or frozen in your neck of the woods. So this morning we're looking at that. Plus, the dew point itself also around that temperature, which means that the air is saturated and we've got some pretty dense fog in the hilltops. We are tracking a brief round of some light drizzle and flurries moving their way to the east right now. You can see the general idea of that pushing its way into the Mohawk Valley. So not a lot, nothing really measurable, but your windshield might see some light accumulation on it. Either way, main roads are relatively clear. You can see up in Barneveld, though, some of that dense fog forming. So again, depending on where you are, you might have some foggy conditions. It's a damp day today, a cool one, but a mostly dry one. We're going to see temperatures peaking into the mid-30s with a quiet afternoon. And then as we head into tomorrow, a better opportunity for widespread rain, plus, more importantly, that January thaw. The details on how warm we get tomorrow in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks, and don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away each morning. Well, this morning, state.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Time now is 6:11 on this Thursday morning. Welcome back, everybody. Today, as we head outside, well, it's a bit icy in some spots and the fog a bit dense in others. Either way, we take a look at your forecast as you head out in a minute here. First off, 32 degrees of temperature at Griffiths and Rome. I'm mentioning throughout the morning that dew point is the main factor here, sitting at 32 degrees as well, meaning the air is saturated and anything that falls from the sky will be falling either as rain or as even a few flurries mixing in some of those higher elevations. Either way is incredibly damp, allowing that dense fog to form in those hilltop areas. We actually see it here on the camera in Barneveld, some dense fog out in the background there, maybe a little bit out in the distance in Boonville, but mainly it's a higher elevation system. Radar indicating some snow showers working through Tug Hill right now, a few flurries or sprinkles in other spots, but we're looking at negligible accumulations here and there. So this morning, outlying icy spots, the key here. This afternoon, it's cloudy, it's dry, impacts low, if not non-existent. Then tomorrow morning, in the late morning, early afternoon, I should say, heavy rain and ponding is possible in the evening hours, a passing shower. But the main thing, though, is those warmer temperatures expected tomorrow. We're going to dive into that coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. We are not even halfway through our winter season, and local towns and cities are.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good Thursday morning, everybody. Today, starting out a bit icy in some spots, foggy in others, and now we have the potential of seeing a few sprinkles from light drizzle, maybe a few flurries in those highest elevations. A live look at the radar, the only exception here being up near Tug Hill where the snowfall is probably coming down at a decent clip up there, but again, not lasting that long. Either way, it's a very weak disturbance in the atmosphere, nothing really impacting us here locally, aside from maybe having to use your windshield wiper briefly this morning. So today, it's a damp one, no doubt about it. We got some fog, we've got some clouds, temperatures remaining in the low 30s. It is a cool, damp, dreary day for your Thursday. So despite that, It is quieter this afternoon, which I think a lot of us can agree. We just want some form of quieter weather, at least before we see more active periods looking ahead. So what I want to show you guys is the estimated snow melting taking place over the next few days. Now, keep in mind, these are not official numbers here. This is just an idea of what's going to be happening from the snow point of view from this morning through Saturday. Now, watch what happens. We see the warm temperatures arriving, warmer, I should say, today, and especially on Friday, cutting down those totals tremendously. They'll be returning briefly in some spots up north. I'll explain the reasoning for that here, though, coming up in just a minute here. For now, though, with the snow melt taking place, a few tips I want to clarify for you guys, especially this time of year. We get these January thaws. So a couple of them. For one, if you can, clean as much snow off your roof as possible. Clear off your gutters from ice and snow, as well as clear out some snow away from your foundation as well. Those are some main tips for your house, but something you can do to really help others, the roads. It's very simple if you have the ability to. Clear snow or ice from storm drains. If you have one in front of your house, just budget some extra time for that because that'll help tremendously with especially a lot of the snow melt and all that snow melting on the roads and finally having a place to go aside from in the streets or potentially rising to the point where there's some dangerous ponding. So with that in mind, today it's a quiet one. We got temperatures in the 30s, maybe a peak of clear skies right around sunset. Tomorrow, we actually have a better opportunity for some peaks of sunshine in the morning before that widespread rain kicks in the late morning and early afternoon. Then it dries up briefly. More rain arrives Friday evening, also brief. And then Saturday starts out dry, temperatures in the 30s, and then here we go. We have some wet snow in the leading edge, ice potential again, and then rainfall on the backside of the system by Saturday night. So it's another thing we're watching here. Again, we'll be closely providing updates on that. You, of course, can watch our update videos here on our Storm Tracker 2 app. You can scan right there below me. But again, late Saturday is that ice potential. Following that, a little warmer on Sunday at 37, then cooling back down to 32 on Monday. So we do have some prime opportunities for snowmelt the next few days, but we're not done with winter just yet. Signs still point to some colder weather, some snow chances following this week. For the time being, though, we'll finally get to see some warmer temperatures after this cold stretch.
Spring is on the way, right?
You got to wait a few months for that.
A couple more months. Eric, thanks. Be sure to like again, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. If you're getting ready to hit the roads, get ready to possibly see some black ice. Eric, it is slippery out there in some spots.
Yeah, that's right, Gary. We do have a reminder this morning if you're heading out, mainly in those untreated surfaces. Here's a look at it right here. From melted snow yesterday that's refreezing again, there's that black ice potential. And it's mainly in higher elevations because those temperatures hovering right around that freezing point. So you head in the lower elevations, for the most part, things are melting, but it's a very fine line here. So just watch out for untreated parking lots, sidewalks, driveways, and some less traveled side roads and back roads that might not have as much treatment on them right now early this morning. Temperatures hovering, as I mentioned, in the low 30s, right at 32 degrees in Rome, Johnstown, and in Hamilton. A few flurries earlier in Saranac Lake have since ended. Up there, it's at 29, but we're looking at right here, arrival of a weak frontal boundary. It's not going to risk a whole lot, but with the air being saturated right now, there is a potential for a few sprinkles or flurries across the area. So, along with the icy conditions in some spots, there are some dense foggy locations in other spots. You can see right there from the location in Barneveld where some dense fog has already moved its way in. And so today's highs will be climbing into the mid-30s, slightly warmer, but still it's going to be a damp, cloudy, overall pretty dreary day today, but at least mainly quiet this afternoon. But tomorrow we're tracking some rainfall and a January thaw, really going to be reducing some of those snow depths. We're going to dive into that coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Officials and protesters.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Good Thursday morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us. If you're just tuning in here, we have a quick recap of what we're tracking over the next 24 hours. First off, this morning, we got some patchy black ice and some higher elevations, as well as some pretty dense fog in those higher elevations as well. So if you're traveling in some of those areas outside the valley spots, just drive, I would say, or plan extra time in your morning commute. Looking at a slow thaw today, not a big one. There's a better one tomorrow, along with some widespread rain tomorrow. And we're going to be focusing a bit more on that coming up in a few minutes. But again, that's a quick idea of what we're tracking over the next few hours. So today, we got an amazing submission sent in to us from Westmoreland, and at least from our submitter here, John. He said it was along the thruway area in Westmoreland of a bald eagle. Look at this amazing shot right here. If you have one like this you'd like to send to us, like John sent to us here, send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics. Any weather photo, any photo of Mother Nature, you name it, if it showcases the beauty of your neck of the woods, send it right here. Your photo of the day every morning, brought to you by GPO Federal Credit Union. Gary?
Eric, thanks. February is right around the corner.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Time now is 6:49 on this Thursday morning. Today we are starting out a bit damp, foggy, and icy in some spots. We take a look at the radar right now. We are tracking a weak system moving its way eastward. This is not expected to produce anything really notable for any rain or snow accumulations, but you might have some light sprinkles or light drizzle on your windshield this morning on a commute to work here as this pushes its way east due to how saturated the atmosphere is this morning. Hilltops seeing some pretty dense fog, and then besides that, some icy spots too, due to black ice. So just as a reminder, make sure you check your untreated surfaces this morning to make sure they are okay and melted. If not, find ways to make sure you're not going to be slipping and sliding this morning. Either way, it's going to be a damp, cloudy, dreary day today, no doubt about it. But it's going to be mainly quiet this afternoon and this evening, which would be the good news here, what's been a very active stretch of weather. So while we're going to be tracking a warm-up towards the next few days, here is a quick idea of how the snowmelt will be taking place. Now, keep in mind, these are not official measurements, obviously. Some of you might have a lot more, a lot less. Either way, watch what happens to these hypothetical snow totals as we progress throughout the rest of the week, especially tomorrow, where you can see those snowpacks reduce tremendously. So that'll be something we're focusing on over the next few days. And while we're seeing that snow melt, here are a few tips that I want to share with you guys when we have these type of events here. So a couple things. For one, clean as much snow off the roof as possible with a roof rake or anything you have there. Same thing for some ice and snow from gutters. Also, of course, the usual, clear as much snow away from your foundation as possible. But these are mainly home tips. Something I really want to emphasize is this point right here. I wanted you to clear snow from storm drains in front of your house if you are able to. Again, this is not a necessity, but it really helps out, especially when we see a lot of snowmelt with rainfall. That will add to ponding on roadways that could actually impact your house as well. So allow the snow to drain. Just budget a few extra minutes while you're doing any shoveling to maybe clear out some of those storm drains if they are in front of your house. Helps tremendously. So today, it's cloudy, it's quiet. This evening, we could see a few breaks in the cloud cover. A better shot for that is actually tomorrow. We have a few peaks of sunshine in the morning before widespread rain kicks in the late morning, early afternoon. A brief lull in the rainfall before more rain arrives in the evening, and then it quiets down again overnight through much of Saturday, and then Saturday night, we're seeing the arrival of rainfall, potentially some ice and some wet snow in the hills north and west, or north and east of Utica. So we still have some winter weather. We're not out of the woods just yet. It is still January, so I know some of you are already over with winter. Maybe some of you are just enjoying it and hoping for more snow. Either way, after this stretch of favorable conditions for snowmelt, toward the end of January, signs are pointing to a return to wintertime conditions. So enjoy this bit of a quieter or maybe less impactful stretch of weather before we're going to see some more arriving shortly.
And be careful of that black ice this morning.
Yes, that's right.
Eric, thanks. New dietary guidelines from the U.S. Meteorologist Eric Gage joining us now. And Eric, some icy conditions this morning. How are things now?
Well, we got some better news. We are slowly seeing those temperatures rise, which means less icy conditions, but we're not out of the woods just yet.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the radar. So again, the great news right now is things are quieting down weather-wise, and now here's the thing. You head out south and east of central New York, we've got sunshine, lots of it, but you know how the rules are. It's central New York, so if anything happens, it's usually cloudy. But that's the case so far today. It's cloudy, it's damp, it's a cool one outside today, but at least thankfully we got some quieter weather moving its way in right now. A look across the area, again, roadways continuing to improve, but as we head into the short term, especially tonight, we're going to fall back down below freezing again. That's going to allow that ice to reform, especially in untreated surfaces. So watch out for some black ice forming, especially by early tomorrow morning if you're heading out. But that won't last too long because we're warming up quickly tomorrow with widespread rain. But there are signs pointing to the potential for more ice to arrive. Freezing rain potentially as we head into the weekend. We're going to dive into that coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. In Minneapolis today, there is growing.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good. It's Thursday afternoon, everybody. Today we are tracking some cloudy skies after a very icy morning out there early today, especially some of those hilltop areas. Now, the freezing drizzle and other drizzly spots kind of exiting, but it's still rather damp out there. The humidity, or at least the dew point so far this afternoon, is very close to the temperature, so that of course means a very saturated atmosphere. We're likely going to see some fog again tonight, as well as some icy spots as we dip below freezing, so heads up for that. Live look at the radar. Things are mainly quiet here across the Mohawk Valley, and as I mentioned, we go from the upper 30s this afternoon, allowing that snow melt to take place, falling back down below freezing tonight in the low 30s with some wind speeds somewhat calm, but a light breeze as we head throughout the overnight hours. So let's head straight to the Skycast. There's a few things I want to talk about over the next few days. So to start, again, today it's mostly cloudy. We're lucky if we get some partial clearing out there here and there today, but that will be mainly reserved for tomorrow. Yes, we have an opportunity for some sunshine tomorrow morning, but don't let that fool you. If we do have any red skies in the morning, the sailors take warning phrase is definitely important here, because we had in the late morning, early afternoon, we're going to see widespread rain move in. This is enough to produce a good amount of snow melts, as well as a good amount of actual rainfall accumulation, some heavy rain here and there. It exits, we're going to have a dry period in the mid-afternoon, and then closer to the evening, another round of rainfall moving in across the Mohawk Valley. So that takes place as we head throughout Friday. Then Saturday, it starts out dry. In fact, much of Saturday itself really will be impact-free. It's what takes place Saturday night. We're going to see the arrival of this low-pressure system. This is going to be pushing in this warm air over the cold air in place. You probably have heard this story before. You see all the pink there? Yes, freezing rain potential. Again, I know we've already dealt with a couple of these systems already, but this is a similar setup here with the right conditions for some freezing rain possibility. In terms of ice potential, the initial data coming in right now supports that similar story of the areas north and west and east of Utica seeing the most ice. We're going to wait at least one more day, because by tomorrow we'll have a better idea, especially in terms of what locations will see the most amount of ice here. In terms of any cold air damming, because this is a bit of a different scenario here. In terms of snowfall on Saturday, you can see here it's not a major system for snowfall. In fact, with all the warm air present beforehand, a bit difficult for accumulation to really take place. So, again, impact-wise, the rest of the day today, it's dry. through early tomorrow, also looking dry. Then in late morning and early afternoon Friday, widespread rain, another round of rainfall in the evening. Then dry from Friday evening through Saturday evening. Then Saturday night, that wintry mix moves its way in. The backside of it could produce still some additional wintry mix on Sunday. And then some variable temperatures above, below freezing throughout the rest of early next week. But again, it's quieting down finally today, at least briefly.
Boy, Mother Nature is keeping you busy.
For sure. We are very busy over here.
Eric, thanks. Now to the new recommendations. Meteorologist Eric Gage joining us now. And Eric, this morning, some black ice and fog and a bit quieter here at noon.
Yeah, that's right. And with the quieter weather, temperatures starting to climb a little bit, it's a first sign of some potential snowmelt, Gary.
Oh, my.
Yeah, let's take a look at the snow depth right now. Now, keep in mind, this map here we're seeing is not a set-in-stone total of parts of our area, but it gives you an idea of the rough estimates of snow and how much we could lose. So we look here and we fast forward through tomorrow and just look at some of this snow receding. There could be some more returning again a little bit in the Adirondacks by Saturday night into Sunday. But mainly there's a lot of snowmelt. And with the snowmelt in mind, I want to share a few tips for you guys, especially to prevent snowmelt flooding. So a lot of these are in regards to your home. So the usual sorts: clean out your gutters from ice and snow, brush off snow as much as you can on the side of your roof, and clear away as much snow as possible from the side of your foundation. But this one is most important right here. Clear snow or ice from storm drains. It's something that might be some extra work for you guys, but it also could help you out in terms of any street flooding or worse flooding than that with that snow melt. And we see that widespread rain tomorrow morning, late tomorrow morning. So just a reminder that a few extra minutes of helping out will help the crews out tremendously, as well as potentially helping your neighbors out and other people driving on those roads. So again, here's a few tips, and of course we're going to be diving into the amount of rain we're seeing tomorrow and a trend toward a warmer day, but maybe not going to last too long. The details straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. A Utica woman.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. After a somewhat icy start today and a foggy start to the day today, we are drying up a little bit, but of course a little bit being the main focus point here. It's still damp, it's still cold, temperatures in the mid to upper 30s in parts of the area. And as I mentioned previously, if we were outside of central New York, there's some sunshine in Binghamton, Ithaca, Buffalo, and Poughkeepsie, but of course Mother Nature does not want any of that sun to be shared with us here locally. But either way, it is warming up a little bit. Latest temperature readings right here: 39 in Westmoreland, 38 Little Falls, 34 Inlet, 41 degrees up in Lowville. Heading south, it's 44 in Sherburne, 39 Norwich, 37 Cooperstown, and 36 degrees in Oneonta. Now look at the radar. As I mentioned, things are drying up for the short term today, and temperatures, although peaking near 40 today, will be falling back down below freezing tonight, allowing the opportunity for black ice to form yet again. So just watch out for some icy spots early tomorrow. Now, as we head to the Skycast, you can see here, it's a relatively uneventful but cloudy evening and overnight. As we head into the evening hours, however, today, we could see the opportunity for a few breaks in the clouds briefly, although a lot of the breaks will be taking place overnight tonight. Then by early tomorrow, we could see a better opportunity for some morning sunshine mixed in with a few clouds, but we'll enjoy it while it lasts, because by the late morning, early afternoon, widespread rain moves into the area, and we'll see temperatures slowly climbing into the upper 30s to low 40s by the mid-afternoon with quieter weather, cloudy skies, and then by the evening, a secondary round of rain rolls through. Then from Friday evening through Saturday evening, it'll be entirely dry. However, you can see here by Saturday nights, Our next system moves in, and this one, yet again, has the potential of producing some freezing rain as that cold air mass present collides with an approaching warm front, a recipe for freezing rain. In terms of ice potential, this is the latest numbers coming in for us this afternoon. We might put out an official map here because, again, the data is not good. Models are terrible at forecasting ice. So we'll look at some of this information here and put out an official forecast either later tonight or throughout the day tomorrow. So stay tuned for updates on Saturday. Then when it comes to snowfall, so far nothing really notable, but again, we'll keep a close eye on the snowfall accumulation potential throughout the weekend. So following the next few days, Sunday, we have some lingering, more so rain, sleet mix here and there. Then Monday, 32, cloudy skies, 37 Tuesday, and back to 40 again on Wednesday. So we're going to be going above below freezing here and there. Definitely some noticeable snow melt, but still got some icy spots overnight. We're still falling below freezing, so that's the main thing.
Keeping you on your feet over there.
Oh, that's for sure.
Keeping you busy. Eric, thanks. Well,
Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis is tracking from the Weather Center. I mean, is this one of those days where we can say there was no severe weather of any kind?
It was a nice break. And we had some sunshine, which was pretty nice. It was a little unexpected, but hey, that's one of those good things to be surprised about. A nice day today. We're above freezing. The ice has melted. We have to keep an eye on the temperature tonight because we do fall below freezing, so there will be some patchy black ice, but I don't think it'll be as severe as what we've been dealing with the past couple of days. We'll get a nice break from that. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. All is quiet across central New York, and seeing some daylight at this time is nice too. Our sunset 20 minutes later than it was this time last month. 36 degrees, clear skies. Our weather headlines: patchy fog tonight. Rain returns tomorrow afternoon. We are watching the possibility of some ice rolling in Saturday evening, so we do have some weather to track looking ahead, but we do have a nice break here as we head into this evening. Temperatures will fall below freezing as we head into tonight. We are tracking rain for Friday, along with some colder weather that does return. Look at the forecasts coming up. Kristen, back to you.
The FBI will handle the investigation into the killing of a 37-year-old.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. Beautiful day today. The sunshine came out for the first time in a long time. It's been many days, more than 10 days since we've seen clear skies for more than a few moments. A live look in downtown Utica. Again, it is still twilight, and it is after 5. It's almost quarter after 5, and we're still seeing some twilight. But with those clear skies in place, it is going to allow temperatures to fall. In fact, we do fall below freezing tonight, which means watch out on untreated surfaces. With a lot of melting snow today, any standing water that's untreated will end up freezing tonight, which will create some slippery spots. These will be a lot more isolated compared to what we've been dealing with for the past 2 days. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Again, a nice quiet evening in place. Temperatures are generally above freezing. West Berlin 35 degrees, Dolgeville 34, Little Falls 35. A lot of places hit 40 today, especially west of Utica. Morris 35, Unadilla 36, Norwich with 39. Our sunset times continue to change as we showed you on the tower cam. We have a little bit of twilight here. You might notice it's getting brighter at 5 o'clock because it is. Our sunset time is more than 20 minutes later than this time last month. 2 weeks from now, we'll have our first 5 o'clock sunset. 2 months from now, we switch the clocks. We go over to daylight saving time, and our sunset this time in March is going to be almost 7 o'clock in the evening. The winds will be picking up over the next couple of days. Our January thaw does come with some wind, especially tomorrow and especially south of the Mohawk Valley. Winds will pick up beginning Friday morning. But again, notice where this is happening along hilltops south of the Mohawk Valley. Less wind in the Mohawk Valley just because of the wind direction coming from the south. As we head into tomorrow night, the winds turn into the west, and winds will become lighter as we head into Saturday, at least temporarily before the next weather system approaches. Reminder, you can always get weather alerts to your phone by downloading our Storm Tracker 2 weather app. Bigger picture shows our next area of low pressure will be approaching from the west. This one stays to our west and north, but it drags a cold front with it, and that'll be arriving late in the day. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy skies, overnight lows in the low 30s. We're expecting rain to develop Friday. It starts out dry in the morning, rain arrives in the afternoon and evening. On and off rain showers here heading into Friday night. We do get a chance to dry out Saturday morning. We're watching Saturday evening closely. Another area of low pressure rolls in, and this one could start out as a wintry mix late in the day. A possibility of snow, sleet, freezing rain, and rain as we head into Saturday nights and into early Sunday. We'll keep you posted. Mostly cloudy tonight, low of 30. Tomorrow, rain develops. Temperatures climb into the 40s late in the day. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Again, watching a wintry mix late Saturday, 39. Sunday, rain showers, 37. Possibly some lake effect snow, actually, here for Sunday and into early Monday. Tuesday, cloudy skies, 37. Tracking a sharp cool down on the horizon here. Looks like temperatures are going to drop into the 20s with some sunshine as we look ahead to Thursday of next week. That is the one thing about the cold weather, is we get the sunshine. Unless days like today are the exception. Actually can be warm and sunny too, but that's far less common.
All right, Bill, thank you. Disasters across the U.S. caused about $115 billion in damage last year. The nonprofit group Climate Central released new data reporting 21 severe thunderstorms caused at least $1 billion in damage each, and wildfires in Southern California accounted for more than half of the year's total damage. The report said 2025 was actually the least costly year for disasters since 2019, and it may be because of hurricane season. The U.S. did not have a single hurricane hit last year.
Wow. When severe weather strikes, we want you to be ready. If you haven't already, download the WKTV Storm Tracker 2 weather app, the WKTV weather Facebook page, and meteorologist Eric Gage is actually acting as your tour guide. He has a video and step-by-step instructions on how to use your app to your advantage. That includes where to find watches and warnings and how to make the app custom to where you live. That's the interesting part is, well, I know how to use an app. Everybody knows how to use an app, right? He breaks it all down for you, so it's easy for you to find exactly what you need.
Right, and you're going to find that video on the Storm Tracker 2 Facebook page.
Yes.
Coming up, the Boilermakers picks for this year's to Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. He's performing the weather.
Hey, you know, you live in central New York when it's the winter time and the sun comes out and you just drop everything you're doing to go outside and see it. This picture from Brian on Delta Lake. It's the first time the sun has come out this whole year. Granted, we're only a few days in, but you remember these days, and it is nice to see it because you never know when you get a chance to see it again. It's a very tough time of the year. It's a very cloudy time of the year, thanks to mainly Lake Ontario, big culprit for that. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It's quiet. We get a nice break in the weather. A thaw continues tomorrow. In fact, it ramps up. Temperatures will be in the upper 40s in the afternoon. The weather remains above freezing Saturday, but we do start to cool down. We're close to freezing Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Looking ahead, there's some signs of colder weather that looks to return. If you're taking the dog out for a walk, it's actually a fairly nice evening to go out. Temperatures will be in the low 30s. Watch out for some patchy black ice, though, as we do fall below freezing. Lily from Little Falls is tonight's featured dog. If you want to be part of this, head to Skycast WKTV on Facebook. This is brought to you by Nissan. Kristen, back to you.
January is National.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. Beautiful day today. We were fortunate enough to see some sunshine this afternoon after a very cloudy stretch of weather that we've had since before the beginning of the year. You go back to Christmas and beyond, we haven't seen much sunshine with so much lake effect cloudiness. So live look in downtown Utica. Skies are partly to mostly clear, and we are cooling off pretty rapidly. Watch out for some black ice on untreated surfaces as we fall below freezing tonight. With all the melting snow today, there will be some black ice, and it's mainly on sidewalks and untreated surfaces. Not as problematic as the last two nights. It was some of the worst icing we've had in a long time in parts of the Mohawk Valley. With freezing rain Tuesday and then patchy freezing drizzle last night. Thankfully, It's warmed up enough today to get rid of most of that, not all of it, but a lot of that ice has finally thawed. And we will see more of this tomorrow, more of a thaw, as temperatures continue to warm up. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Things look quiet. We're tracking wind with our next warm up, especially along higher elevations south of the Mohawk Valley. That's where the wind looks to be strongest. We could see wind gusts up to about 40 to 45 miles an hour. And then it remains generally windy heading into the weekend with the weather cooling down. Season snowfall remains at 67.8 inches. We are 28.7 inches above average, but that number's been going down slightly because we haven't had any measurable snowfall in the past couple of days, which is unusual for this winter. We've just had a lot of snow since it really began just after Thanksgiving. But we are getting a nice break now. 35 degrees in Whitesboro, Cassville 33, Inlet 30, Mohawk 32, 34 degrees in Westford, 34 in Paynes Hollow. Next weather system approaches from the west. This is going to stay to our west. It's going to drag a cold front with it. This is going to bring rain tomorrow, especially in the late afternoon to early evening. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, cloudy skies tonight. Overnight lows hold in the low 30s, so we do fall below freezing. It's a dry start to Friday, but generally cloudy. Rain showers are expected. The rain's not expected to be all that heavy. For the most part, it's less than ½ an inch of accumulation. Heading into Friday night, again, some showers. Temperatures will fall below freezing to start Saturday morning, and it's cloudy throughout Saturday. We are watching a new development. The next area of low pressure that arrives Saturday evening could bring a wintry mix, a combination of snow and freezing rain, turning over eventually to rain as we head into Saturday night into Sunday, but it could bring some slippery spots here after dark Saturday. Mostly cloudy tonight, down to 30 tomorrow. Rain develops, especially in the afternoon. 48 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Again, that wintry mix possible late Saturday, 39. Sunday, snow showers, 35. It is windy towards the end of the weekend. Monday's high, 32. Snow showers. Tuesday looks dry. Looking ahead, colder weather on the horizon. Temperatures only in low 20s by Thursday. We'll be right back.
With Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Nice day today. Nice to see the sunshine for the first time this year. It's been a very cloudy stretch of weather, so a nice change of pace, and it will remain dry as we head into tonight. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Temperatures are falling. We're 34 degrees. We made it up into the upper 30s to low 40s today with a lot of melting snow. We have to keep an eye on things tonight as we fall below freezing. There could be some black ice. I don't expect it to be as severe as we've been dealing with the past 2 days. But again, watch out on untreated surfaces. Rain returns tomorrow afternoon. Our January thaw continues. Looking ahead, Saturday evening, we're keeping an eye on that for the potential of some freezing rain. Our next chance of some ice here late Saturday evening into Sunday night. Mostly cloudy skies this evening. Temperatures will be dropping below freezing with, again, some icy surfaces developing tonight. We are tracking our next round of rain for Friday. A look at the forecast is coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Decision 2020.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. Our January thaw ramps up tomorrow. Temperatures look to be warmer than today, although I don't think we'll see the sunshine that we were fortunate enough to see this afternoon. Let's take a live look at downtown Utica. One thing we can at least appreciate is the roads. They're wet, but they're not slippery. It's been a couple of rough drives over the past couple of days with freezing rain and some patchy freezing drizzle. But again, things look pretty quiet out there tonight. And here's an expanded view, the arterial, Route 12, Route 5 heading into Herkimer. Again, things look pretty good out there. The one thing you have to watch, though, sidewalks. As we fall below freezing tonight, the untreated surfaces could turn slippery. It's unfortunately one thing that comes with nice days like today. As the snow melts and it falls below freezing, it's that combination that can create some patchy black ice, again, mainly on untreated surfaces. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Things look quiet. Sunset times continue to change. You might have noticed a little bit of daylight, a little bit of twilight at 5 o'clock. 2 weeks from now, it's our first official 5 o'clock sunset of the year. 2 months from now, the clocks change, and our sunset will be approaching 7 o'clock 2 months from today. The winds are going to be picking up with the next weather system tomorrow, and it's going to be primarily south of the Mohawk Valley, we're going to see that strong south wind. The Mohawk Valley tends to be sheltered from this wind direction, but the winds south of the valley could gust between about 35 to 40 miles an hour. Breezy conditions continue into Friday evening. The winds become light Saturday before they pick up late Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening. Skywatchers checking in. We're above freezing, at least for now, for many areas. Whitesboro 35 degrees, Cassville 33, Norway 36, Westford 34, Carroll and Worcester with 34 degrees. The next area of low pressure approaches from the west. This heads to our north and it drags a cold front, which will be arriving late tomorrow. Partly to mostly cloudy skies tonight, overnight lows in the low 30s. We start out dry Friday morning, but the rain arrives in the afternoon, becomes widespread and steady. Temperatures climb into the 40s. The wind direction changes Friday night. Colder air works in from the west. Saturday starts out dry and cloudy, but there's a new development that we're watching very closely for Saturday evening. This next area of low pressure that rolls in could start out as another wintry mix. It seems like we can't get away from this year. Possibility of some freezing rain here Saturday late evening and into early overnight. So the timing would be 7 to 9 p.m. when it starts. Again, something we'll be watching closely. Mostly cloudy tonight, low of 30. Tomorrow, rain develops. The January thaw continues. Temperatures in the 40s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Wintry mix possible Saturday evening, 39. Lake effect snow in the cards Sunday and Monday. Doesn't look like a big accumulation, but enough to coat the ground again. Temperatures in the upper 30s early next week.
All right, Bill, thank you.
Well, still to come on News Channel 2 at 6, the Utica City. Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. What do we got here?
The sun.
Oh, I thought, well, there's snow, it's winter. This guy's going, hey, he can't believe the sun's out.
I love this picture. This is fantastic. This is over Delta Lake. Brian, do I dare try this one? Odryskowski?
Odryskowski, yeah.
We're sorry if we mispronounced that. We tried.
We need a pronunciation.
We appreciate the photo, though, and the sunshine put a smile on everyone's face today. It was really nice to see that. It's a rare commodity here in central New York, that's for sure. Just a reminder, you want to be careful walking on untreated surfaces. It is pretty slippery out there tonight. We had the sunshine today, the snow melts, and unfortunately, that means a little bit of black ice here heading into tonight. Things look dry on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. My graphics are not working. I forgot to push the right button, and I can't fix that, so just take my word for it. We're expecting temperatures to fall down into the 30s tonight. It will be an icy start to the day tomorrow, but it's going to thaw. We're going to warm up. We're going to get into the 40s. We're going to see some rain, and that will also lead to more snow melts. We'll let you know how long this lasts and how much rain we could be talking about, and that's coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Now to a developing story.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. I'm taking a live look in downtown Utica. Pretty quiet night tonight, but watch out for some icy spots. Temperatures are falling below freezing after a thaw today. Temperatures got into the upper 30s, low 40s. A decent amount of snow melt, even though it may not be so obvious that snow has turned into water and is now refrozen on untreated surfaces. Just be careful if you're walking tomorrow, especially on driveways, sidewalks, and parking lots. The weather does warm up, and we do expect to thaw in the afternoon, so we do climb above freezing, and this will not be an issue during the day. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. All things are quiet across central New York. You see temperatures generally below freezing, especially east of Utica. That's where it's coldest. Dolgeville 28, Little Falls 26. It's pretty close to freezing in areas like Westmoreland and Westernville. Deansboro's 36. Across Southern Valleys, again, most areas below freezing. Cooperstown 25, Morris 27, Oneonta with 30. The winds pick up tomorrow. The winds look strongest along hilltops south of the Mohawk Valley. We could see wind gusts up to about 40 miles an hour. Less wind in the Mohawk Valley. The south wind isn't quite as strong because of topography. Throughout the day tomorrow, again, winds will be prevalent along higher elevations. A brief burst of wind across all of central New York late tomorrow evening. The winds calm down Saturday, only to pick up later in the day, coming in from the east. Low pressure from the west will be bringing us widespread rain and a cold front, and that will be arriving tomorrow during the late afternoon. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, mostly cloudy skies tonight, overnight lows in the 20s and 30s. Tomorrow we start out with cloudy skies. We should see rain arrive in the late morning to early afternoon. We're expecting about ½ an inch of rain, quarter to ½ an inch of rain as this rolls through, so not super heavy. Rain moves to the east. We'll get a chance to dry out tomorrow night. Saturday starts out dry. We'll see temperatures in the low 30s. Saturday afternoon it's dry, but watch out Saturday evening. There is the potential for another wintry mix. Snow, freezing rain, and rain as we head into Saturday night. Sunday, in the wake of that system, we're tracking some lake effect snow showers. It doesn't look big, but it does look like winter will be returning after the January thaw. Mostly cloudy tonight, low of 30. Tomorrow, rain arrives, a mild day, temperatures in the mid to upper 40s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Rain, a wintry mix late Saturday, slippery spots, 39. Lake effect snow showers Sunday and Monday, temperatures in the 30s. It's breezy, it's colder, mid-30s Tuesday and Wednesday before Arctic air arrives Thursday, temperatures in the low 20s.
That's going to come as a shock because we've had all this, I say warmer, but above normal temperatures. How's that?
Yeah, we're going to be losing some snow. Not all of it, though.
Not all of it, but some. All right, thank you, Bill. Coming up next, meteorologist Bill Curtis. Okay, 10 o'clock, I have to say, I was like, okay, what are we talking about? The snow? It's glaring. The sunshine was out today.
I know. Don't be alarmed. It's one of those things where it's like you almost like stop everything you're doing when it comes out.
Don't be alarmed, but don't blink.
That's true. Beautiful shot here. Thank you to Brian for taking that picture. Actually, it was his wife that took that picture, but Brian for posing in it. That was from Delta Lake, which, again, beautiful weather today. Temperatures climbed to 40 degrees. With temperatures being above freezing earlier today, below freezing tonight, there's some black ice out there. Watch out on untreated surfaces. They could be very, very slick. That's going to be the case here overnight. Live look at the airfield battery, Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Things look quiet. We're 31 degrees at Griffiths and Rome. Skies are clear. Temperatures will stay below freezing overnight. We're tracking black ice tonight. The thaw continues tomorrow. We have rain on the way. Ice is possible again as we head into Saturday night. Cloudy, patchy fog tonight, low of 30. Tracking again, increasing clouds overnight and some rain for Friday. Look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Now to a developing.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're taking a live look in downtown Utica. Clear skies in place. It's cold enough for black ice. Just be careful of your footing tonight on untreated surfaces. This is going to be problematic through tomorrow morning, but we do climb above freezing, so we do expect the thaw to continue and melt any ice issues overnight. Looking at dry conditions out there in the airfield battery, Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Temperatures, again, are below freezing. In fact, some places are quite cold compared to others, like, for example, Little Falls 23, but 38 degrees in Deansboro, Westerville 32, 23 in Inlet, 24 in Cooperstown, 30 in Oneonta, Morris 26, Unadilla 27. It's one of those nights where the hilltops are actually a lot warmer than the valleys, with all the cold air just kind of sinks into the lower elevations tonight. And again, some black ice issues will continue. Tomorrow, the winds pick up, especially south of the Mohawk Valley. Some of these hilltops get wind gusts between about 30 to 40 miles an hour, with winds coming from the south. The Mohawk Valley is sheltered somewhat from that south wind, so it won't be quite as intense here. This continues throughout the day. Winds turn into the west tomorrow night, and we'll see wind gusts everywhere between about 25 to 30 miles an hour. Winds become lighter Saturday morning, only to pick up from the east later in the day between 25 to 30 miles an hour. Again, those are wind gusts. So we look at the radar and satellite image. The next area of low pressure works in from the west. This is producing rainfall, and a cold front will be moving into our area. Tonight, it's cloudy, or at least the clouds return. Overnight lows will hold steady, if not rise, when those clouds settle in. Tomorrow, we're looking at rain in the afternoon and evening. Temperatures climb into the low 40s. the weather does look dry to start Saturday. It looks overcast in the morning. We have to watch out Saturday evening. The next wave of low pressure arrives, and this could bring a wintry mix to central New York. Snow, freezing rain, and rain, especially east of Utica. Temperatures on Saturday evening will be right around freezing. What's to follow for Sunday? Lake effect snow. So winter will be returning here to central New York one way or the other. And it looks like Sunday is going to be that day. Mostly cloudy tonight, low of 30. Tomorrow, looking at rain developing. Jump the gun, Eddie. 7-day forecast. Looking at this. Some rain showers here again tomorrow afternoon. Wintry mix here late Saturday, Sunday, Monday, lake effect snow showers. Temperatures in the low 30s, some colder weather on the horizon. Just teasing our director behind the scenes.
We love them. All right, thanks, Bill. Coming up next, the Utica City